Hey, it's good to see you. My name's Tom, I'm the Dusty Builder, welcome back. Today we're on my roof, and I thought I just had one shingle, but I got two shingles that decided to jump off the roof. We also have these shingles that are moving, so we're gonna fix those. So if you wanna learn how to replace a shingle, stick around, I'll show you how. This roof repair video will probably be similar to yours. I take off more shingles than I initially planned for. Also, my new shingles were smaller than my old shingles, so I had that to contend with. So before you borrow your neighbor's ladder and lace up those work boots, stick around. I'll show you some useful tips and tricks and some tools I use to make this job not so terrible. So without wasting any more time, let's get to it. So when I go on the roof for a roof repair, I like to bring a few things with me. First, a little pry bar, and then you don't have to buy something like this. This is called a roof snake. These things are super helpful. I'll show you why. We got some roofing goo, and then we got some roofing nails. I just got an assortment of roofing nails in there. Then I just got some tools in my tool belt. So let's get to it. My biggest tip for you when we first start doing roof repairs, it can be very frustrating because typically there's two sets of nails that are holding us up. So if we're trying to fix a shingle, we're going to remove the nails on that shingle, but also we have to remove the nails on the shingle on the next course as well. And this can be challenging. Right here I'm trying to dig around and look for that nail that's holding me up. Because of this nail. This nail's in the way, so I'm going to get rid of you. So when we're replacing shingles, one of the reasons why we have to sometimes remove two sets of nails is because, so when we install, we're gonna nail here. We got some nice lines here. It's telling us we want to nail in here. And then so we put this next shingle over. The next shingle wants to go here. The next shingle, when we nail up here, it's gonna pin this in. So this is actually nailed up here and down here. So now that that nail's gone, we can slide that shingle up. And on closer inspection on these old shingles, the arrows are pointing towards the initial nail holes, but there were no nail holes on top of the shingle. So there was some sloppy nailing, and that may have been why we're having issues with the shingle sliding off the roof. And also, just like any project, the more I start looking at these shingles, the more problems I find. I found another shingle, I have some cupping, I have some damage on it, and I wasn't sure how I felt. I was debating trying to fix it with some goop, and I didn't like it. So I think the right thing to do is to remove this shingle. And again, to remove this shingle, I gotta pop these ones off, then I even gotta go up there and pop those off. We'll see how that goes, and then we'll start reshingling. And if I didn't say I was short a shingle, if I was short a shingle, I carry a lot of this roof flashing with me, so I could put the new shingle here, and I could slide that up there, right? And I could nail that under this shingle, and I could nail it here, put a shingle over it, and it would work. It would be waterproof. So I always carry these little flashing bits with me. They're super helpful, but I think the right thing to do is to remove that shingle. So let's do that. So I'm using my roof snake. The roof snake has a real nice thin pry bar, and I'm using that to find the nails that are holding that shingle in place. So again, I gotta find two sets of nails, and I'm using that roof snake to do so. Wow. Came out way too easy. The sloppy install is actually helping us remove these shingles. It shouldn't be this easy, but I should have nails at the top of that shingle, but in this case, the sloppy install is helping us remove these shingles. And while I'm working, I try to be systematic. Whenever I remove a shingle, I try to remember to go back through and then remove any loose nails or any proud nails. You can remove them or just whack them down. So we're getting close. I'm going to tack this shingle back in place, and my phone cut out because somebody called me, but I found a couple more shingles too that I didn't like that had some cupping, so I removed them. And I also learned something about my camera. So I'm gonna go through, and any shingles that are remaining, I'm gonna throw some nails in them. Any proud nails, I'm gonna nail those down, or if there's some I don't like, I'll just pry those out. All right, so we're ready to start putting stuff back together. If there's any holes or anything on this bottom course, and there is over here, I'm gonna fill it. I'm gonna cover it with, probably put a nail there and cover it with some goop. And then once it sets up, it'll be waterproof. So we're gonna start from the bottom, and then we're gonna go up. We start setting these, and this is where the roof snake really shines. I mean, it's nice for prying up nails, but it's really handy for when we're trying to reach up under these shingles and set the nail. There's a little groove in here, and we can set a nail. And then so we just lift up the shingle a little bit. We lay this down and we just whack this with a hammer and it sets it. So I'll put a description below if you want to buy it. As an affiliate, I would make a small commission, but if you do any roof surgery, these are real nice to have. I'll show you this thing in action. Slide this guy up. Okay, so instead of lifting this up and trying to get my hammer up under here, this goes into that little fitting there. Lift it up. And then we're gonna pull it out and then finish. Nice. So once you nail it in, you're gonna get stopped by the bottom of it. You take it out, then you just set it on top, and then you finish off the rest. Send her home. Well, I got a little ahead of myself in the video here. First thing we got to do though is install this first new course. We didn't miss anything, pretty good. And then so we're gonna nail along our little nailing mark here. And again, we're going to use our roofing goop to cover up any old nail holes or cover up any imperfections. And then when we go to put our new shingle in, we got a nail in the way. So we got to pry that out of the way, put our new shingle in, and the new shingle is a little bit shorter. I'm about 2 inches short. So just to make sure that we didn't make some kind of mistake or use an old shingle, I tried another shingle, and it's true, we're short. We're 2 inches short. So what do we do? It's actually pretty simple. Right here, I'm just marking the spot where I want the joint to fall. I can't have two joints in the very same spot, otherwise that's a spot for leakage. So I'm just measuring where I want the joint to fall, and then I'm gonna move the shingle, and I'm gonna cut it on a scrap piece of shingle, so I'm not cutting the shingle on the roof and damaging the roof. I'm cutting it on some old shingles that I don't care about. All right, now that I have my new shingle length, I'm gonna nail that bad boy in place. And then, so I don't have to pull out my tape measure, I'm just gonna pull out a shingle, and I'm gonna mark my width. I'm just gonna mark it, then I'm gonna finish cutting it on that scrap shingle. And now that it's cut, it should fit perfectly. I'm gonna nail that bad boy in place. The idea, as we go along, we're going to keep nailing with the roof snake and nailing off where we can. And again, my full shingle here doesn't work, so I have to use a piece, and I have to make sure that I don't have two joints that line up in the same spot.
We're away from this seam.
So here you see I have a little piece, and then my final piece will fill in to the right.
Then we don't have to worry about that piece being ugly. What a nice.
All right, so we got all the shingles in and we're so close to being done. But so here's the last new roll of shingles, and they're nailed in place. But remember, we pulled these off up here. So I'm gonna have to go through and lift these up and re-nail these shingles. Otherwise this will happen all over again. We'll have shingles that fall off. So I'm gonna come back through with a loose snake, nail that top row off, and we'll be done. Hopefully you liked this video and you learned something. If you got any questions, let me know. Again, I'll have this in the description. So if you want to buy it, that'd be awesome. See you next time. If you found this helpful, but you're looking for more detailed information, check out my website. See you next time.